pictures.
Yes, sir.
You see, this extraordinary woman remained, you see, just a housewife for the rest of her life.
In spite of all
Tolerating a guy like this is worse than any Ravana or
Only the East can
Rakshasa.
produce such saints, sir, like your wife.
No, she was not a saint in that sense or any sense of the
Sir,
word.
in practice, sir.
No, not practice. A frightened chicken.
Well, only the words are different.
What words are different?
Hello, Major. Hello? 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 You already said that a moralist is a frightened chicken.
Of course, what is the morality of
Sir, there was one fact. Can I speak?
Yes, go ahead, sir.
You started with this discussion that if at all we are seeking any clarification, that we are not able to get anything. And if at all they, of course, pointing out to one or the other is one and the same, saying that if at all we are having anything in the mind or the clarity are going away and the thought is of no use. But one thing here I would like to say of mine. It was a fact that I was shopping at, not I am trying to put you great or something or any sort of a thing like that. I know about my system, what it operates in making a sort of my own judgments from time to time and my own convictions. To tell you in my all these 60 years, right from the beginning also from the childhood, what I had, the thing what they, since 2 years, the change that has come in myself. For a moment, don't feel that I am putting you at a great altar. Not at all that one. We get a sort of a total unburdening and a total clarity. And the thing is, the whole system becomes a little bit lighter and clear. Now you may not mean, or you may say you are not contributing that.
No, I'm not
As you also said,
I'm no party to that. I'm no party to whatever you are saying. I played no role, you see, in whatever things that you are talking about. Absolutely, if I'm certain of that, it is that. You see, instead of clarity of thought, the one thing that can happen is you are not burdened. You see, you are now hesitating to invest in particular stocks and putting everything in the savings banks and reliable banks and don't put anything in his finance corporation. He will be in trouble.
That's all right. So at least that much is quite all right.
No, it's not all right, you see.
You turn everything into a lighter meal.
That's
a problem.
That is not the problem. You see, there was a time when I was against money lending and all that. Why people should pay 18%, 20%. And I have been totally satisfied after finding out those who pay that kind of interest have also been benefited, made more money. So I am not against that kind of a thing, you see. Some people lose, some people make money. And that is happening even in your stock, in your investments, the fall in every kind. That's all the time happening, you see. So, I am not against that at all. See, I had very fancy ideas, I'm telling you, in those days, consideration. When I decided to sell all my properties in Andhra Pradesh and put that money out of this country, I had an account, not for avoiding taxes or any such thing. And I have never even tried to avoid or evade income tax, because there was no reason for me to pay tax, because I have never lived in any country for 6 months, all these years. So then, when I decided to sell all my lands, 40 acres of land, at that time it was 4,000 rupees an acre. And now they say it is 100,000 an acre. My daughter said, you see, you have ruined all our wealth, you see, we would have. I said, what the problem? Bharati, created a mess there in Switzerland. See what you have done. I said, what is your problem? You are a very wealthy lady. You have everything that you can reasonably ask. I got the maximum out of that sale proceeds of that property. So why you are all the time blaming me for what I did, you see, 50 years ago? What the hell you are talking about? So then my consideration was, I don't even know where these lands are. You understand? I am not going to cultivate the lands. So I am going to sell. The real persons who deserve this land are those who have been, you see, cultivating the land for 20 years, 30 years like that. So they are the rightful people, but I am not going to give away everything. So I invited them all. So you see, told them, you see, the property, that land is worth 4,000 rupees. I will sell this for 3,000 rupees. You put 10% of 3,000 acre in the bank, I open an account, I execute all the documents necessary for registering this, and you have 1 year time to put that money in that account. And I have given power of attorney to my clerk, finished, put 10%. All my lawyer uncles, you see, you're a damn fool. You see, they will not pay the money, they will not give up the land. And why you are doing it? You see, then my usual answer for all those questions like that, the Lord hath given it to me. The Lord hath taken it away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Some biblical passage. And the same thing, shops where they were staying for years and years, you see. You must buy this land. I'm not going to give it free. So within 3 months, sir, all the money was there in the bank. And then, see, my uncles after the Congress government, you see, the rights,
land reforms.
The land reforms.
They lost all the lands.
They lost all the lands. They congratulated the same lawyers.
They lost the land reforms.
That were putting pride into my. I said, hey, what do I care? I didn't. After some years, I went there to Gudivada. After 30 years, I don't know, with you took me there. Not one fellow who bought all these properties is still cultivating that land, nor his children or even great-grandchildren. So, not that I regret, you see, I don't regret any such thing. At that time, 3.5 lakhs, you see, the total sale proceeds of all my properties, then immediately I transferred that. You see, at that time, the exchange rate was only 3.5 rupees. And a few months after, they devalued the pound, and then also the rupees 3.5 became 4.75. I left, you see, the money calculating, transferred all the rest of it, you see, on every dollar I made 1 rupee 25 cents. It was not, you see, things happening outside helped me that way. I transferred the rest because my family was still here, they needed money. And every day I asked my Imperial Bank agent to debit the counter value of 5 pounds and send it out. You know, it was possible for us after the exchange regulations. You could send out 5 pounds every day, take out 5 pounds every day. After 1 year, I got a letter from the Reserve Bank and asking me to go to them. You see, the chief, the head of the Reserve Bank. I knew him very well. And then he asked me, why you are sending 5 pounds and wasting this money order commission? I said, that is the law. I don't want to keep any money here. The moment my family moves out of this country, I wouldn't even leave 1 cent here. And that's why you change your rules, that's your problem, it's not my problem. And after 3 months, they reduced it to 2 pounds. And then after 3 months, they stopped completely, you see. And so, they continued to send 2 pounds out, because I didn't want to leave any money here. You see, on every dollar within 9 months, I made 1 rupee 25 paise. That was how every time, you see, I never invested in any stock, never did anything to speculate on that money. You see, that is how money multiplied. You see, once I did the same thing with the $20,000 Valentine gave. There was a talk of stepping off the gold standard by Nixon. He was the only fellow who had the guts to step off the gold standard. You see, all the exchange rates were committed to that gold standard. There was no change in the exchange rates, but I was certain that he would do that kind of a thing. I knew that he was the only kind. Lynn also was with me. At that time I had $20,000 US in my account. That was given. One question, first question, what are you doing, sir? That's the first question they asked. They want to know what you are doing. I said, I'm retired. Retired from what, sir? I was born retired, I said. Nan-Murti was stunned. Born retired. Yes, I was born retired. I never worked, studied from here. And then he handed over the book back to Larry Morris. I wish you all success. He walked away from me, never wanted to see me. Never. No.
An American?
American, a colonel in the army. He couldn't take it. Nan-Murti was so sad. When I gave that kind of...
Retired, born.
I was born retired.
If we very closely say it is true, sir.
Right.
Maybe the statement though inadvertently or you have a way of putting things.
Yes.
What you said as born retired, it comes true if you see.
If you study your life,
Life also.
Yeah.
Not his life. His life.
In his life.
Born retired.
Yeah, I never believed in work ethics at all. Why you should work? The nature has provided us bounty.
But he worked, he was telling, 18 hours a day.
Yeah,
that was
when?
Spiritual sadhana 18 hours a day. Then I decided that my only line in life is to become a speaker.
Peaceable society. He was working hard for society.
Yes, I had to fool everybody in the world.
He was not idle.
Not fool.
Why did the
No, I started reading only after my children went to sleep. You see, I was playing, that's why they liked me more than the mother.
Even now, UG, if he has any task to be done, he will be extremely efficient and very fast.
Yeah.
He will never keep anything pending. Anything.
Never.
For example, he had given some cloth to the tailor when we were going to Madras before that. Then we reached the outskirts of Bangalore. He said, let's go to the tailor now itself and collect it. So he is like that.
That is after traveling such a long distance.
He's very
Supposing if he wants to go to the bank or something, it comes to his mind. He won't laugh. He will just say,
It is not restlessness. The moment the thought is born, the action is over. You may see me getting up, going there, opening the door if there is a knock on the door. You want to relate these two things and say that is the cause of my action. No, not at all. The moment somebody knocks on the door, the action is over. I may not even go and open the door. I may fall dead here or something distracts me from that, because distraction is its nature. There is no such thing, the concentration here. You see. So always we are distracted by the things. That's the way the body is.
So the action over means we are not able to get it. Though we are
You see, you hear the knock on the door.
Yes.
So sometimes you speculate, you see, whether he is the right man, who is coming here, who is knocking the door. He may be a thief who is trying to break in. All that you think about it. So you see me getting up from here, going there and opening the door. So there is only one action. That action created this movement of this guy who is not thinking about it. I don't think about it. Who is he? Or why the door should be open, welcome him here. Nothing of the kind. So that is, it's so automatic. It's one action.
It's a reflex.
Response to the knock is the physical movement of this body. Not
a reflex. Without reflex.
yes, I may not even
Interference.
go. No interference, you see, at all.
No, you may not go. That is the point.
Supposing I drop dead here,
Oh, I see.
or some distraction is there, distracting me more important than that. You see, the thinking is not there at all.
You may turn this side, you may not go there.
I not go there and open that. It's finished. You see.
But as far as that action is concerned, that is complete and it doesn't leave any residue.
No, you are calling it action. This is the activity.
Activity.
The result of that is the activity. And
That
that's the
cycle
most
is complete.
important thing for you.
Yes, sir.
For you.
Yes.
And so that is why you have to establish the relationship between two. Here, no. You see, that is why I say, for example, the stimulus and response of this body is a unitary movement. You cannot separate it. You can take me to the laboratory in your science laboratory or your hospital and say this, that this is the response to that stimulus. But this is not acting that way. You see, the sense of touch is not involved in anything. That's why I'm saying, if you say that this is hard, it is not this sense of touch that tells you this is hard. We are taught that this is hard, this is soft. But this mechanism here, the organism here, never tells itself that this is hard unless what I am told comes in response to a question from you. Is this hard or soft? I can hit this like this. This never experiences the hardness. I say I am hitting, you see that there is no mark on that.
The knowledge.
The knowledge is the one that separates this contact, creates a space, and thought comes in there. The thought is that memory,
Yes.
that this is hard.
Yes.
And so you see, then only you say it is hard. Never do I say that this is hard. If it is painful, automatically, you see, this is the way I know. I learned, I think is the correct, a lot more from my newborn son than all the teachers both secular and spiritual teachers put together. You see, my wife was working, she was earning good money. I said, why do you need somebody to take care of this boy? I will take care of. Don't bother. I have so many people to help me. I never looked in that sense, you see. And so she agreed and she went back to her work. And then I was the one who was looking after. I tell you, these two Indian doctors, lady doctors who were with me, said, Yuji, at that time it was possible to have delivery at home. This was in 58. And why do you want to waste money? We will come and spend one night with your wife, conduct the delivery in your studio. Why you want to waste? We are two doctors, working in that hospital. We will bring our nurses, we will bring every equipment and see that it is done here in your studio. I wanted to be present. Then I could not take it, you see, when she was going through that pains. And then 5 minutes after the boy was born, my son who is there in America now, they called me, I called them, they said it is over, I went back. And 10 minutes after that they said, now we have a call from the hospital, Yuji, sorry, we have to go. We have to take these nurses with us. You have to take care of that mother and that boy. I never even looked at a newborn baby like this and a mother lying on the bed. Strange as it may seem to you, the previous child, she breastfed that girl, Usha, for 2.5 years, believing that you see, as long as you keep breastfeeding the child, you will not become pregnant. She didn't become pregnant for 2.5 years, or even 5 years during that time. The gap between them that was our theory. And it worked in that case. Whether there is anything to it or not, I am not concerned about it. So the milk dried up. 5 minutes after she never had any chance to breastfeed this guy, newborn baby. And so what to do? They said, you see, you have to give him glucose every hour. We'll be back in the evening. My neighbors, ladies also were not there. Nobody was there, you see. Then I had to do all that, you see, to attend to her until 6 o'clock in the evening. And then did whatever was there to be done and went away. And then every day they came in the morning and evening. Because they were working in the hospital, you see. They could not stay away from him. Then I took over. Until he left America, he was 2 years old. I am telling you, what I learned from that guy was like the most interesting thing for me. Not any of this, not any of those guys who talk about that. One day, you see, I decided that he was going to a stove, hot stove. I wanted, you see, to see what he will do. And then even my son Vasant said, he said, why not we take him away? He's going to touch that hot plate. It was a hot plate. Mm-hmm. I said, I'm going to watch this and find out whether he will burn himself or not. What is the intelligence that is there? And then he went very close. I never said anything. Don't touch that. Don't go anywhere near that. He just wanted to put his on that he put his hand away. He removed that. He never went anywhere near the hot place because we put fear into their head. You should not go there. You should not touch in everything. 4 months after his birth, I started feeding him with solid food. I am telling you. So I never observed any of those things that they asked me to do. All right, if he goes, let him go. I am interested in learning everything from that guy. You see, that's my way of life, my philosophy, all throughout my life, you see. 2 years, everything, you see, you learn a lot, sir, about that. That is the one, you see, I am talking about now. It was not part of my life at that time, you see. Not from the books, not from these things. How, you see, extraordinary things you learn. Anything about life, you know, is not the way the life is. Not expressing, that's the word I use. So that is how I learned so many things in my own way, rejecting everything that everybody suggested. So I had to accept certain things, you see. I was questioning, you see, why do you say that 2 plus 2 is 4? My teacher, you see, sitting like that on my table, my teachers were teaching me, repeating the multiplication tables. 2 plus 2, 4. I said, why I have to 2 plus 4, 2, 4. He brought some oranges, brought some potatoes, these are 2. I don't accept this. If you don't accept 1, there is no 2. could not give any satisfactory answer to me. And then finally, you see, he hit me, it's another teacher. I spelled February wrong. He hit me with a pencil.
Hello?
The spelling is wrong. So I brought a dictionary and
Hello?
picked up most difficult word. Okay,
Yeah.
come on, but spell it now. He spelled it wrong.
Yashoda, yeah.
I threw the teacher out. You are no good for me, huh?
Yashoda.
And you make the statements many times, first you made this. It is, suppose I am greedy, it is the greed, it is that which frees you from whatever reasons you want to be free from.
Yeah, that is my
You say what
point.
exactly?
You see, there is a sensation there, or a feeling, or whatever you want to call it. I don't like to use that word feeling, you see. These are all sensations there. So what separates you from that sensation is you calling that greed, jealousy, envy, whatever you want to call it. So you have already separated yourself from that particular sensation because of the knowledge that is given to us by those guys, right? So the separation has already occurred. And from that moment onwards, we are also told that you should be free from greed, free from jealousy. You understand? So what you are dealing with is not jealousy, not greed, not selfishness, not any of those things you want to be free from because they have brainwashed us for centuries that you should be free from that and practice the opposites, selflessness, non-greed, non-jealousy and all that. So you are not dealing with that at all, the sensation of, you don't even know what it is, whether it is greed, jealousy, envy or sex or anything, any one of those sensations. So you are, how to be free from whatever you want to be free from is what you are dealing with. You see, the knowledge that is given to us, how to be free from any one of those things, is not adequate enough to be free from what you are trying to be free from. So you are shopping around to know more. How can I be free? How means you want to go everywhere and find out more and more. You see, that is gathering momentum. So you are not dealing with this. See, assuming for a moment, you see, nobody is free from that. I am telling you, whether he is a saint or a sinner, those things are happening in exactly the same way. So the moment you say that there is a desire, you see, the moment you say that there is a desire, it doesn't matter what that desire is, you have already separated yourself from that sensation and translated it as a desire. You have come and so you want to be free from desire. You want to replace that desire because they say that this is bad, that is good, you must have holy desires, not unholy things, not this, that and the other. So you are dealing with those things and not with the desire. It is not there, it just comes and goes. It cannot stay there for long. You are keeping it, not the desire. What you are dealing with, how to be free from greed and not greed.
Yuji, what is the maximum duration of any sensation?
This is very short-lived.
Average?
Very short-lived. You can't even give, you see, any time there to that. You see, no way you can separate yourself. It is not that I am an extraordinary man, enlightened man, or whatever you think I am. I am not, you see, Yuji comes there. You see, if he says that it is a desire, that is a greed, that is a jealousy or envy, that guy who is not there, he will never go. That bastard has tremendous survival tricks in his
Instinct.
In his, you have to come and say what it is, otherwise he will go forever. So even if he comes, and then you see, says that is a desire which you see, a man like you should never have desires, all that is absent here.
So
Something else has come in its place.
So is it possible to come in contact with that sensation?
Never. That is something living.
Yes.
And what you call yourself you is dead.
Yes.
Not, you are not dead, you may be a living being.
Just forget about it.
How to be free from is a dead stuff that is put in there.
So just forget about all those things.
How can forgetting about also is the same?
Means thought structure.
Thought structure in knowledge,
that
knowledge that is a desire, that's a greed, That is the knowledge, you see, that is put in there.
So practically what we can do,
Not a thing.
keep quiet. No, keep quiet is the word I'm using.
How can you be quiet?
Word I'm using, sir. But
No matter
whatever
what.
that sensation happens, there,
You can't even be conscious of that.
Yeah.
You see, the moment you become aware of,
sensation.
conscious,
the moment I
or
see
know what it is, you have already created the problem. You see, that guy is not going to go. You see. So you think that this guy who is trying to be free from desire, he is created by desire. No, it is created by those bastards.
So then what should I do or what I do?
Just go to hell and stay there for.
No, sir, whatever that sensation comes, sometimes it...
That is why my message to you and others is, it is better to be miserable with a lot of money than to be miserable without money. Got it?
It's like better to sin and repent than repent for not sinning,
He got it. There is no sin at all. What is having? He's dying that. He can have
This impossible thing.
Yeah.
One of us said the thief turning into policeman.
Yeah.
You will never catch the thief.
Yes.
He himself is the thief.
Yes.
Yeah, but you forget that.
not catching the thief.
No, you forget that it's the policeman that has turned us into thieves, not the other way around.
Policeman
He is responsible
for the presence of the thief.
for calling you a thief, because
Actually, it's not...
he is protecting you and your kind of thievery.
Yeah.
You see, you are very successful, and then you see, and you don't want to be
He
caught.
creates this kind
So
of...
you create a policeman. So he is protecting you. If he can't protect you, you have an army, navy, air force, nuclear weapons to protect your kind of thievery and condemn me and put me in prison. Right? Why? I am jealous and envious of you, not because you see you are not a thief, but you are getting away with that kind of thievery, and your kind of a thievery, and that kind of a thief is protected by the policeman created by us all ganging up together.
So it is just a professional jealousy.
Huh?
It's just a jealousy.
What I mean jealousy, I don't call it. You are successful, I am a failure. Steal but don't get caught, that is the philosophy. So we are caught, unfortunately. Right?
If you are not caught, then you are successful.
We are very successful. That's why all the politicians are successful until they are caught. When they are caught, they have the means
To get away.
to get away with that kind of a thing. Go and bribe the Supreme Court judge or do anything. Right? You are in the seat of power, you can brag on this.
So this unburdening you talked about.
Unburdening means...
You said you are not involved. You are not involved. Whatever the unburdening it has
You are not the
you are not responsible for that.
No, I am not responsible. To some extent, the investment you had in these things
Yes.
is very shaky. There is no total investment in what you have taken for granted.
So it has become shaky.
It has become shaky to some extent. Not that you will become a thief or any such thing. And the demand to be not a thief is lessened. You see, to some extent. Huh?
What do you understand by this? The demand to become, not to become thief is lessened. What does it mean?
That you are already a thief.
We are already thieves. We are not trying to not to become thief anymore.
So you are not doing anything to be free from that. No, sir, no, you didn't get it, you see. What you are preaching him is not to steal, thou shalt not steal. So it is that has turned that you into a thief.
Yes.
Huh? That is not the problem. Thievery is not the problem. You see, thou shalt not steal is the problem.
Yes.
Right? Now you will not become a successful thief.
Yes.
After that you see, ignore, thou shalt not become a thief. Ignore. You can't ignore. You know, that is always there. You see. And then you add, UG says, steal but don't get caught. That also becomes part of that.
Point is, we listened as you said, shopping in so many places and all that. Nothing happened, you see.
Nothing
We
happened.
went on gaining knowledge.
That's exactly what I am saying.
But here what happened?
No, if it has not helped,
Yes.
what you say is not true. If it has not helped you at all, that's the beginning of the solution for the problem. This Yuji guy, you see, puts things in a different way. So you have not freed yourself from that, that I know. If you are freed from that I have wasted all my life, see, believing in all that kind of a thing, invested everything in it, my whole life and everything I do. So you won't go to somebody else to find out, you see, whether there is anything. What I am saying is, when I say this, there is a greed, for example, the greed burns itself out, not through your effort to become non-greedy or doing anything to be free from that greed. Those things are only perpetuating that. If you leave that alone, the selfishness or you see the greed, any of those things, without you coming and telling that you see, which is not there anymore, so it has to burn itself out. I am telling you, my hunger has not been satisfied at all. The hunger for finding out. It's whatever I was after. So the junk food, they all offered me a junk food, not a genuine food. You see, there is no genuine food. It is the hunger created by that junk food. Junk food is not the thing that it is interested in to free itself from hunger. So there is no other food other than the junk food. First, you see, you come to that point. No organically done food, no best food, nothing of the kind. The only food that is there is the junk food. So that has not helped me to free myself from the hunger. It stops there. You see, not look for organically grown fresh food, real food.
No other alternative.
No other alternative other than that.
Settle with the hunger.
No, don't put it there, settle. There is no way the hunger can be satisfied with that food. So then the hunger is not there. It is that is keeping the hunger going. I tell you, if you do fasting for some time, I don't know if you did it. We did it for spiritual reasons, not political reasons. After 3 days, you don't feel the hunger at all. And probably that organism lives on its own and goes after 63 days or 62 days, as the case may be, or 60 days. So it lives on itself and goes. But after the 3rd day, you don't feel the hunger at all. And so why they continue to keep this going, the fasting business, because it produces this kind of a high in you, chemical disturbances, but not getting the glucose that it needs. Hunger is, after all, is a glucose that the body turns into sugar. Everything that you eat is turned into sugar. It is that gives you the energy, if what you say is valid and true. So then if it cannot get that, it is producing some tantrums also in the body. You see, some contractions, because it is not getting the basic sugar that it needs, the energy that is necessary for the body to continue. So that you translate it as some spiritual experiences, some extraordinary things. You see, you feel high, good. I want I don't know if it is published, those guys who fasted in Ireland for 63 days, they left behind their diary. And the experiences they experienced are no different from spiritual experiences. They didn't call them spiritual experiences. They were something extraordinary, like our Mahesh but describing his LSD experiences, no different from any extraordinary spiritual religious experiences. He never had anything to do with religion. He was never even aware of those things. He was not brought up in that kind of an atmosphere. So if you listen to that, you will be surprised. So in exactly the same way, they did not know that there were spiritual experiences or anything. They recorded all that happened to them, and then, you see, left behind those diaries. Somebody was, you see, reading some passages from that. I don't know whether they are published or not. I don't think they were published, because that will create problems for those people who put them there in that, you see. That is something extraordinary. I myself experienced so many things after the 3rd day. I'm telling you. After 7 days, I said nothing, I'm not interested. 3 days, you see, is all that you can survive without water. Water is more important than food for this body. That is why they take water. Gandhi also, they drink juice to keep this going. That was for some other reasons, for political reasons. He was fasting. I told him when I met, you see, you buddy, you are only interested in martyrdom. You will commit suicide calling it a fast unto death. You see, nothing, I am not impressed by that nonsense. And so you will die, commit suicide, or somebody will put a tiny bullet there, you will be finished. Maybe it will happen, and it happened. And not that I was a prophet or any such thing. That was the educated guess of a guy who never paid any attention to what he did. Gandhi never accepted him at all. You know, I admire him. You see, he is not the one that got freedom for this country. Not at all. I never believed that India would become free, even in the time of my great-grandchildren or great-great-grandchildren. It happened in my lifetime. Not because of your Gandhi. No. Because of Hitler, he destroyed all the empires. The British were more intelligent than the other empires, like French, Dutch and other, Belgium. After the war, they went back and made a mess of the whole thing. Britishers realized that it was finished. So they created a Commonwealth of Nations. And they thought that they would continue to be, say, world power. And then they wanted the pound to remain as a world currency. That created all the problems for India. And the Americans wanted dollar to be and now they are going to pay a heavy price. You see, if you use that currency as a world currency, now they are frightened of the euro currency. So dollar will be finished in no time. No time until.
It's already, it is already finished.
Huh?
It's already lost value.
Who?
Dollar.
Dollar is no value. Get visas to go to the United States because there is no way any doctor can get a job in the United States.
I see.
That is why it's very interesting. He just
There is no way he can get a job.
Job there in America.
It's already saturated.
No.
Yes, no.
He said
What will they do?
Their doctors have to work as coolies there.
they visit and see the country.
That's how they can.
3 times they rejected him. This time he went with his wife. He stayed in US for 6 weeks and he came back.
Because there was no way they could get a job there.
Sir, am I right in saying that, you see, our investment elsewhere to a certain extent it is reduced?
You are not putting everything in gambling. Because there
It is reduced to a certain extent. After or
instead of 100% of everything you have, investing it in that risky thing, 99.999%. No. That's all. I'm sorry to put it that way. That itself is a big relief, you see. You know, to that.
No, that is due to my encounter.
Exposing yourself to this kind of a strange stuff. That itself is, no, I am putting it in strong language like that, but maybe it is 5%, not just.
No, in terms of percentage.
But that doesn't matter at all.
As you said,
To some
to a
extent.
great extent. To a great extent, you see.
At 1 o'clock kindly.
To a great extent, it's really, it is.
To some extent.
Unburdening.
Yes, it is unburdening to so many people, you see. Unless it is a professional investment for you. You see, you know, they have a holy business. Those who are in the holy
We were
business.
discussing yesterday. No?
Yes, then
As
it's
far
a
as Subraya Sharma was concerned, my opinion was, since it is an investment on the holy business for him, because that was his life.
that's all.
He has to stick on to that, and he has to avoid that, because he has to...
No, but it was he who created the problem for all these guys. It was he who mentioned that here is a Jivan Mukta. So he made a...
They are trying to bring him also into that frame now. Oh, usually he is saying the same thing and he is supporting what these people have said. In a different way he is talking.
Yes, he's using.
Yes. That's how they
No, he was a genuine fellow to that extent.
No, it is...
When he found, he came to see me so many times. So he told his people. So the result is he has lost
Bhaskara.
Bhaskara, all the persons. Not that Bhaskara has in any way been benefited by having around me. You know, that's all, you see. I am not interested in taking away anybody from anybody. See. So because
You have said it. You do not want to create any conflict into them, in which already they are. Meaning it is up to them.
It is up to
If
them.
they want to disrobe himself, they can. Otherwise, have their rope, put on another rope.
That is what I am pointing out. You have actually not walked out or away from that. You see, you are trying to replace that with me.
Yes,
You see, that is all that I am pointing out. Because if I am interested in a rival business, running my own business, I will be happy. I am able to take you all away from me. You come and, you see, join my racket. You see, that's all what Krishnamurti did. What else he did? He condemned them all, and this is the one thing that will help you. So he created another racket.
So Bob was very much correct in telling you are honest.
I don't know.
The reason was your statement a little earlier that you are also under that whether you are creating, you are becoming a part or a contributing to the illusion around by talking of this.
Yes, but
And exactly the same statement as when you compared to the Shankara.
Yes.
That talk when he was there, because you said the life energy cannot be expressed anything at all.
Yes.
You are trying to put that into some frame of some explanatory method.
Which is very misleading.
Which is very misleading, and exactly that Shankara did at that time on that aspect.
So they did
You
not.
also told him he was not that, and you accepted this also, meaning that you are a very honest statement.
No, honesty is only a policy for me.
Policy.
Just a policy, nothing else.
No, it's not ready.
Say when it is ready.
You see, sir, you were able to make India a setup or sit down.
No, that
You have a
unburdened sampan. That itself is a clarified of thought was not there. No, that's not the clarification of thought, sir. That is that unburdened.
You say that, sir, something is happening to me
Not something
in the present. No, not you. Some people say that. You see, why you keep coming back? I tell you one thing. You see, even if you tell me that something is extraordinary happening to me in your presence, I know that he is fooling himself, because such a thing never happened to me in the presence of anybody. I am telling you. Even in the case of Brahmana Maharshi, everybody said something extraordinary. Nothing. No.
But you are
Not in the presence, in the absence.
not in presence. Only presence, not in presence.
No.
We are not in the
You
presence.
see, you know something, you see, Krishnamurti had a very strange way of touching you, coming here, holding you and putting his hand. I said, don't touch me. Don't touch me. He would jump back, sir. We were sitting like this. He wants to hold this something, you see, no, that's not going to work, sir. I don't want you to touch me, you see. So, you see, thereby you give the illusion that is touch. You see, also I sometimes joke when I shake hands. Do you want any energy transmission?
No, that he knows. No touching and all that, no energy.
He believed in that kind of...
Illusion is not there.
See, what I am talking about, this is all artificial thing. In Italy, I was bothered about the same thing, you see. You have no idea at all how many thousands and thousands of people, not hundreds, have passed through the portals of my residences everywhere in the world, even in China. You see, if I am there for 1 month, you will be surprised how many people will come to see me there in the mountain resort. They said it is easy for us to come 3 different places, and you must stay there where all of us cannot come, and then you see, you will become the center of attraction there for them. You see, the state, you see, is a threat. They are already in trouble, you see. So that will give them...
You are talking something about Italy.
And then I said, I am not going to talk anymore. So can we sit there for some time without you talking? Go ahead, I will sit here. I was not even, I don't think I felt bad or I fell asleep or anything. After 20 minutes I noticed that they thought that something was happening to them. You see, the energy and all the shaking. And then I decided, you see, sir, your silence is affecting us. Our silence is affecting us. How the hell do you know that it is affecting? And then the energy, sir, outbursts of energy we are experiencing. There is nothing like that, sir. It's better to talk than to allow you to indulge in such
Even
fantasies.
those experiences are false.
All created by you, not by me. Thought, you see, how can you, sir, how can you, for whatever reason you want to be in a thoughtless state, put yourself into a thoughtless through thought? That was my question. So all right, I am in a thoughtless state and you are describing that state. Who is there describing, experiencing that thoughtless state? There is no way. You can put yourself into a thoughtless state through the help of thought. Alright, you are there. And then you experience that so-called thoughtless state and telling me that you are in a thoughtless state. I said, buddy, you are very much...
Very often say, how can you talk on silence, sir?
Exactly, experience a silent mind. That's what I told Krishnamurti. See, also choiceless of what is, he is to say. Stop there.
Stop there.
Don't describe that. You are free from the known. You see. What the hell you are, if you are free from the known, why you are selling yourself, talking love, bliss, beatitude, immensity? That was my problem with Shankara also. I had a lot of trouble with Professor Mahadevan. The non-dual state can never be described, can never be the part of any proselytization on the part of anybody. You understand?
No, that was the blow on my misconception which shattered the other people.
See, you can't do that. Such a man cannot do that, you see.
Accepted for a moment, sir, that he was there. But how he can talk...
Talk about that, that becomes a sales pitch. Ready? No.
So now, sir, unfurthering occurs or no?
No, not on your level.
He says maybe 99.999%.
So point